So, Coach, first of all, for you, obviously, being a week into practice now, just about, how do you feel that things are going so far?
Some good, some bad. Second day in pads today, and so I thought yesterday or 2 days ago we were a little sloppy, which a lot of young guys, playing in pads for the first time. Too many guys on the ground, and today was much better. There's a fine line between how physical you want to play and then you're playing against your teammates, and so you also want to keep people up and prevent people from having ankle sprains and piles and things like that. So it's just, it's a matter of 17 new players getting used to playing college football, but there's some good things. There's some new schemes. There's a lot of learning going on, and today I thought there was fewer mental mistakes than there was the day before.
With all the coaching turnover, how do you feel like those new voices have kind of changed things around practice as well?
Well, they have great energy. I think anytime you're new at a school, you're trying to prove yourself and earn respect, and you have to come out and be a good teacher. You have to be consistent. You have to have a voice, and the players ultimately, no matter where you are, want to get better. And these guys do a great job with that. They have good command with their position groups. They've put a lot of time into getting to know their players, and now I know they're just having fun, working with these guys, and we've got a good group of young men to work with.
I know you obviously don't have an answer on the quarterbacks at this point, but how have they looked in practice thus far?
It's up and down. I think Matt and Devin are further along probably because they know more. Obviously Bailey and Ty are just getting here, so you're going to expect to see more mistakes from them. They all throw the ball well. They're coachable guys. They care a lot, but there's a lot of time between the decision process, and it's just a body of work that you need to put together over a long period of time.
How excited did you get when you knew you had a chance to get to Barry Hines?
Oh, it's great. We've had really good success bringing in grad transfers, and you don't bring one in unless you have a serious need at that spot. And obviously losing Kelvin and Jacoby early to be able to add an older player to that room, I think is very, very important. And he's a guy obviously that we know a lot about, having seen him on film, not just against us, but against the league. And he's hungry to play, and had a tough year last year, so I think he'll have a chip on his shoulder, which fits our program, and looking forward to getting him here in May.
What have you learned? What have you kind of learned about him through the recruiting process that maybe you didn't know when he was at Wake Forest?
Well, I didn't know him at all, So you get to know him as a person, and the type of worker he is, and anytime you're getting to talk to a senior, it's a different conversation than when they're younger, and just because the sand's running out of the hourglass on him, and he knows that it's an important year for him. He's coming in here ready to help our football team, and by doing that, help himself.
And then your other transfer from USC, Mr. Jones.
Levi, yeah. You know what? He's really adjusted. I think the first week was hard. And since then, he's gained some weight. He can really run. He's a special athlete. And I just like how coachable he is right now. He really wants to learn. I think him and Coach Huxtable have a good relationship. And, he coached his father, Coach Hux did. So it goes a long way back. There's a lot of respect in that family for each other. And look forward to having him when we get him eligible.
Any chance to get him eligible for this upcoming season?
Don't know yet.
Is that a pipe dream?
I wouldn't say a pipe dream, every one of those things is a specific case, and so we'll just have to see.
When you look at your linebackers overall, the speed that you guys have brought in the last 3 years in recruiting.
Yeah.
It's like it's just a different look now.
Yeah, I think Coach Huxtable's done a good job identifying guys, and we've been able to sign really good players that we wanted, and they're tough kids. They fit the demeanor of his room, and they love ball, and I think that's the one thing, if you're going to play for him, you got to be a guy that loves studying the game and that is a true student of the game, not just what you say, but what you do, your actions, and it's a good room of guys, man, really good room.
I want to ask you about Thayer as well. Obviously, at this point last year, he's not even on scholarship. Fighting for a spot on the team. Mm-hmm. Now you look at this year, the strides he's made, and also having the busy schedule that he does with baseball. How big of a year has this been for him?
Yeah, he's an amazing young man. The way that he manages his time between two sports and his academics, does a great job in the classroom, the way he treats people, the whole thing. He's pretty special when it comes to time management. Not a lot of people can pull off two sports and maintain the GPA that he does and play the way he plays. And I know he's helping the baseball team when asked to, and has a role with them, and obviously has a huge role with us.
How much did you watch of the NFL Combine, and what was it like seeing your guys perform the way
I didn't get to watch it. I was watching videos of the guys, their performances when they were posted and things like that, but very proud of him. Not surprised. Those guys worked hard to get to where they were, and I knew they wouldn't stop working. When they get another opportunity, they're going to go, full speed at it.
Did you know Garrett Bradbury would be sub 5.50?
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, he's a good athlete. He always has been, and that's one of his strengths as a football player. And he's always been agile, and to be able to put it out there like that, I think he helped himself a lot.
Last question for you, Isaiah Moore as well. Similar situation for him going into last year. Didn't know that he was even going to be a starting linebacker and emerges in the fall last year. How big of a step has he taken so far?
I'm really proud of him. Him and Lewis both work really well together. They're competitive. They're both really good players. And Isaiah, his leadership has grown so much this offseason. I think last year just trying to prove himself and now trying to help others and serve. And he's really taken that seriously in the offseason.
Thanks so much.
All right, guys.